Attaching or detaching a reference file. If we go to our reference dialog, click on an icon there, or go to the file pull down and select references here. Let's say we need to attach a reference file. If you go to the tools pull down, you have the option to attach or detach all. And we'll go over all three of these here in this section. Let's go ahead and attach a reference file. So we'll select it. Next thing that we're going to do is, where do we want to look in? This one here is looking in J5P2167 data folder, which is where we're going to look under. If you had a different location, of course, you navigate to that particular folder. But what we're going to do here is we're going to attach the plan underscore route 133.dgn and also the one that says route 133 underscore topo. We're going to do both of those. So I selected this one, I went down here, hold my control key down, and selected this one so I can do both of them at the same time. Down below here you do have the option that says save relative path, which you'll want to have it checked on. That way if you move your file somewhere else, let's say later on you take this file and you move it to another folder underneath this particular T drive, it'll recognize it and it'll be able to reattach it if you move it somewhere else. Now if you move it to a different drive, let's say you move this file right here from the T drive to your C drive or to a J drive or whatever, then it won't work because it can't figure out where that particular file is located at underneath that server. So just kind of keep that in mind. But as long as you keep it underneath the T drive and you move it to some other folder underneath here, it'll recognize it where it's at and be able to reattach it as long as you have that save relative path checked on. Last thing before you attach it is your attachment method. You have a few different methods where it says interactive, coincident world, and top. The most typical situation that you'll want to do for MoDOT production is this one that says coincident world. So we'll just leave it set to coincident world. And then now if you click on open, it'll go through there and attach those two reference files, which are these two files right here. I'm going to change my highlight mode to boundary. And now you'll see that those two files, well, I'll change it back to highlight. You'll see those two files are now attached. Now they are outside the border, but there is another video that goes over the clipping portion if you need to clip out those areas to do a clip boundary or even a clip mask to remove those items that are outside the border. Also through here you may have certain files that you may have referenced in a while back for production, but you no longer need them. You have the option to do a detach also, or detach all. What a detach all will do is detach all your reference files that are attached to this sheet. What we're going to do is, we have this one right here that says old plan drainage with some numbers back behind there, probably a date. We're going to detach that particular file because it's no longer needed. So if I come in here and I select it, and I do a tools detach, it'll prompt you that says, do you want to detach this file? And we'll just go ahead and click on OK. It removes that file from our reference list here. You haven't physically deleted the file, you're just detaching it from this particular sheet because it's no longer used. So those are some of the options where you can attach a file and also detach a file if it's no longer being used inside this particular sheet that you're working with.